3 things that I wish I would have known or that somebody would have told me when I started using actives, because actives are wonderful, but they aren't always what they seem. The very first thing is that actives literally damage your skin barrier. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. Think about what your skin is. Your skin is your body's largest organ, and it literally is there to keep bad things out. Microbes, bacteria, pathogens. Your skin is a barrier, right? It's an entire system, and it's trying to keep you, the good stuff, the hydration, the blood, the hyaluronic acid, it's trying to keep you in. Now, if we are using actives such as something for acne, maybe something for anti-aging or wrinkles, maybe something for hyperpigmentation, we want to get those ingredients into the skin, right? But our skin is literally there as a barrier to keep things out, which is why most actives only work once they penetrate into the skin, which means they have to damage the skin barrier in order to get through it. Think of your skin like a castle, right? And it has this moat around it. That moat is your acid mantle, and your skin is the castle with these walls, these little bricks, or I don't know, are castles made of bricks, stones? What are they made of? Somebody, history? Architecture, help. There's like materials that are either brick-like or stone-like that make up the wall of your castle. And you can think of those as your skin cells. And the moat is that acid mantle, that fatty lipid layer that protects it. And to get skincare into skin, we can use the drawbridge, which you could think of kind of like a pore. It connects the inside of the skin to the outside world. Or, you know, sometimes you kind of have to bust a hole in the wall. Oh, yeah. And unfortunately, when it comes to a lot of actives for acne, wrinkles, or hyperpigmentation, that is what happens. When you think of salicylic acid, it's literally an exfoliant. It literally goes into the pore, so over the drawbridge and underneath the portcullis, and it makes its way inside. But it can cause damage in some surrounding areas because it's literally an acid. Think about microneedling. You are just bam, punching holes in the walls, or lasers, right? And while they are extremely helpful for acne, for wrinkles, for rosacea, for all of the things that we talk about, it's important to recognize that yes, they do damage the skin's barrier. And that is a truth that I wish I would have known about, because it would have made it so much easier for me to actually work with and help out my skin. Now, what can you do? Well, along with using your actives, make sure that you are supporting your skin's barrier. Of course, that means sunscreen, but that also means things like ceramides, looking at peptides, looking at different oils or different moisturizers like shea or even petroleum, Vaseline jelly basically, and putting that on the skin to protect it, because you don't want to leave your skin stripped and susceptible. Which brings us to the second thing I wish I would have known. Sunscreen is more important than ever. It doesn't matter what actives you're using if you're not using sunscreen. Literally, hyperpigmentation and rosacea are made worse by the sun. Acne can turn into scarring more readily thanks to the sun. Wrinkles come from collagen degradation and elastin degradation thanks to the sun! Ouch! And I wish that I would have known that actives make your skin more susceptible to it. Yes, you need a sunscreen, and especially when using actives that can exfoliate or strip or open those channels in the skin, you need to fucking protect it from the sky ball of fire. Sunscreen is like 80 to 90% of the picture. If you're not using the sunscreen, then the other things don't make sense. Think of vitamin C. What do we use it for? For brightening, for collagen production and stimulation, as an antioxidant? Well, geez, literally the sun is what's causing that damage. So vitamin C and sunscreen is a great idea, but if you're just using the vitamin C and not the sunscreen, you're only getting like 10% of the benefit. The sad truth is that if you're not using sunscreen, the other actives just don't make sense. Like, get the priorities in order first. And don't waste your money until you have the fundamentals. Get a really good sunscreen that you love, that you can reapply regularly, start using that regularly, and then start using the other actives on your skin. The ones that have vitamin C, or the anti-aging exfoliating acid, or the hyperpigmentation tyrosinase inhibitor, etc. They are all fantastic, but without sunscreen, it's almost like you're rowing upstream. You might get this far, but there is a much better way to do it. And then the third, just because it's an active doesn't mean that it's right for you. Our skin is skin is skin is skin is skin, right? And our skin has the same basic structure and anatomy regardless of who we are, unless you have a genetic condition or disorder in which that would be slightly different. But in general, the skin is pretty much the same, and the skin needs similar basic things, such as to prevent transepidermal water loss and sunscreen. But when it comes to actives. Just because something like salicylic acid is good, and just because something like ascorbic acid is good, doesn't mean that they're both right for you. And this is where intentional skincare comes in. BHA, salicylic acid, is wonderful for exfoliation and acne-prone skin, but ascorbic acid, vitamin C, is better for brightening and for hyperpigmentation. And it depends on what you're struggling with. If you're struggling with both conditions, then fine. A combination of those is gonna be great. But if you're someone who only has acne, and if you really don't have issues with discoloration in the skin, you might not need to use the vitamin C. And if you have discoloration or you're looking to even out your skin tone, but you don't have acne, you probably don't need the beta-hydroxy acid. Just because there are so many actives out there doesn't mean you need them. Let me see, let's play a game. Let's see how many actives Cassandra can list in like the span of 15 seconds, okay? Ready? Sippy? Go. Salicylic acid, lactic acid, glycolic acid, malic acid, tartaric acid, benzoyl peroxide, sulfur, azelaic acid, the niacinamide, panthenol, resveratrol, that's not even an active. Fridge. Wait. I mean, those are like the acne ones. It's really hard when you're under pressure, okay? What about sunscreen filters? Those are actives: zinc oxide, titanium dioxide, octisalate, homosalate, avobenzone, oxybenzone, tranexamic acid, hyaluronic acid inactive. I don't know if hyaluronic acid is inactive. Ceramide's inactive. I don't think ceramides are inactive. Ketoconazole. Ketoconazole, definitely. Bactrim, I mean, it's a medication, tetracycline, minocycline, doxycycline. Okay, I think it's been longer than 15 seconds. That's a hard challenge, damn. Making me question everything I am and everything I do. But just because there is an active out there doesn't mean it's right for you. Just because someone else is getting a prescription for tranexamic acid or freaking tramadol as a painkiller doesn't mean that it's right for you. And the same thing goes in the non-prescription skincare world. Just because there's an active out there doesn't mean it's right for you. And this is why knowing what your goal is, knowing what the end destination for your skin is so important. Because if we know what we're trying to achieve, we can use actives almost as stepping stones so that we can get there. But why use a stepping stone that's way over here if that doesn't even pertain to your destination of helping with acne-prone skin, or scarring, or hyperpigmentation, or wrinkling, etc. Or just having a good time, like someone who just wants to play around with fragrances and feel fancy in their bathroom. Very different than someone who's trying to treat severe cystic acne. What do you wish you would have known before starting actives, and do any of these pertain to you? Always remember to be beautiful, both inside and out. Reapply that SPF to get from like 90 to 100. And can't wait to see you in this next video where we deep dive on why actives damage the skin so very much, and more of what to do about it. Love you guys. Bye.